Mastering modal verbs. Express your preferences with confidence. Hello, English learners. Today, we're going to dive deep into the world of modal verbs, a fascinating part of English grammar. Our focus for this video is all about expressing preference using modal verbs. By the end of this video, you'll be able to confidently express your likes, dislikes, and preferences in English. Let's get started. Before we get into expressing preferences, let's quickly remind ourselves about modal verbs. They are auxiliary or helping verbs that we use to express ability, possibility, permission, or obligation. But the unique thing about modal verbs is that they can also express our attitudes or moods about these things, including our preferences. Modal verbs in English include can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, and ought to. Remember that they never change their form, no matter the subject, and they are followed by the base form of a verb. Now that we've refreshed our understanding of modal verbs, let's focus on how we can use them to express preferences. One of the most common ways to express preferences is using would. This is often used when we're talking about hypothetical situations or to express a preference for one thing over another. For example, I would prefer coffee to tea. Another modal verb we often use to express preference is could. We use this when we talk about preferences in a more indirect or polite way. For example, I could eat Italian food every day means, I really like Italian food. Lastly, we have should. We use this modal verb to give advice or say what we think is the best or right thing to do. So, when we say, you should try the chocolate cake, we express our preference and suggest it to others. Let's look at some practical examples. I would rather read a book than watch TV. Here, would is used to show a preference for reading over watching TV. I could have pizza for dinner every night. In this case, could indicates a strong preference for pizza. If you like spicy food, you should try Mexican cuisine. Should is used to recommend Mexican cuisine based on a stated preference for spicy food. And that's a wrap for today's topic on expressing preferences using modal verbs. Remember, you can use would, could, and should to express your likes, dislikes, and preferences in a conversation. Practice these structures and your English communication will become much more engaging and natural. Thank you for joining us in this lesson. Stay tuned for more lessons on intermediate English grammar. Until next time, keep practicing and happy learning.